See, I knew I missed the team. It was Minnesota. I'm like, hold
Oh,
on. It makes no sense how these banners added up to the ACC. I knew I was missing somebody.
that's okay.
All right, we move on to Minnesota as I write up the banner. I just gotta find that over under win total. I didn't write it down. But PJ Fleck, Minnesota. I've been a fan of PJ Fleck. I know PJ Fleck kind of got a little dirt with him on some things. Like there was a story that came out about Fleck Bucks and stuff like that. Didn't really stick, however, because I really don't hear much about it anymore. Um, but yeah. Oh, this is why I missed it. They don't have the Minnesota win total out.
Uh, Maybe because they don't have a starting quarterback name.
Maybe I don't know, but they got Maryland's.
That's a good
So
point.
we will not have a win total for Minnesota because I don't see one. Um, yeah, interesting. There's also about to be something else interesting. Trent, you might have to fill dead time. My stomach is killing me.
You good, bro?
Uh, this might be a first on CTC, but Minnesota again, no win total because FanDuel doesn't have the odds. I might while you talk, I might try to surf the internet see if I can find something other than FanDuel. But yeah, Minnesota coming off an 8-5, 4-4 season where they did win the Duke Mayo Bowl against Virginia Tech 24-10. In that bowl game, do you really win? Because if you win, they dump mayonnaise over your head coach's head. So do you really win at the end of the day? I don't know. But they returned 10 starters, 5 on offense, 5 on defense, namely Darius Taylor, phenomenal running back, 205 carries, 986 yards, 4.8 a carry, and 10 touchdowns, 54 receptions, 350 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Jamison Gears, a tight end, 28 catches, 290 yards, and 4 touchdowns. He returns Maverick Barnowski, linebacker, 65 total tackles, 21 solos, a sack, and 2 pass breakups, and a fumble recovery. Return Kerry Brown, safety, 63 total tackles, 34 solos, 4 pass breakups, 2 interceptions. Return Devin Eastern, defensive lineman, 27 total tackles, 13 solos, 2 sacks, 2 pass breakups, a forced fumble. They lose Max Brosmer, a quarterback who's now currently on the Vikings, 268 of 403, 66.5 completion percentage, 2,828 yards, 18 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Daniel Jackson, wide receiver for currently the Texans, 75 catches, 863 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Elijah Spencer, receiver, 52 catches, 684 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Cody Lindenberg, linebacker, currently on the Raiders, 94 total tackles, 45 solos, a sack, 6 pass breakups, and an interception. Justin Whaley, cornerback, 42 total tackles, 25 solos, a sack, 10 pass breakups, 2 interceptions, and a touchdown for the Colts. Ethan Robinson, the defensive back, 42 total tackles, 29 solos, 9 pass breakups, 3 interceptions, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery, currently on the Dolphins. Jack Henderson, the defensive back, and Danny Strigal at edge. Danny is currently on the Jags. Jack Henderson currently on the Panthers. 43rd overall recruiting class, 29th in transfers. Talk to me about Minnesota, Trent.
Yeah, this is a interesting team. They have a very, very tough Big Ten schedule. I think it's a
Shout
team
out Joe.
Shout out Joe. I think it's a team that starts hot and then maybe cools off as the year goes. But you mentioned some of the incoming transfers. Drake Lindsey is going to come in as the early quarterback favorite in a competition with Zach Pyron. You mentioned Darius Taylor coming back, Javon Tracy coming in, Logan Loya from UCLA, Malachi Coleman from Nebraska. So a lot of these offensive guys are going to come in and make some noise, hopefully, because truthfully, I think Minnesota has a great defense, and they're returning a lot of what was a dominant unit last year.
They did lose their DC.
Say that again.
They lost their defensive coordinator. He went to Miami.
They lost their DC. However, they
Again.
again. However, they are returning Coy Parrish, All-American defensive corner. Or is he a safety?
I think he's a safety and a receiver, bro. I like playing both sides of the ball.
Yeah, so Coy Parrish, All-American safety. And then I got to shout out local guy here, Shippensburg, Pennsylvania, Anthony Smith on the defensive line.
Shout out.
Along with Jordan Logan Redding and Devin Eastern. So I think, and they have Maverick Brandowski, who's coming back for another year. So this is a defense that returns almost everyone other than their coordinator, but a dominant defensive unit. The question marks really are going to be on offense once they get the quarterback situation figured out. Can he be an effective passer? Or do we see them slump back into a run-first offense? I think they have a great defense. I think Coy could be a first round draft pick. I think Anthony could be a late first round, early second round. Um, but I still think just due to the strength of schedule within the Big Ten, they are still going to probably be a 7-8 win team. But I do have them making a bowl game, and they are definitely one of my better, or one of my teams that I'm going to watch a little more this year, just because I'm interested to see what they do on defense. I think they have a great defense. They went 8-5 last year, to your point, 5-4 in the Big Ten. So I just want to see if they can improve on that at all.
Yeah, I love everything you said about Minnesota because when I think of Minnesota, I think defense. I don't ever think I remember a year where I looked at Minnesota and was like, dang, that's a really good team offensively. But defensively, I'm always going like they're always top tier defensively. They're always going to be. They're like Iowa-esque, Wisconsin-esque. Really good defense, really good running back. Yeah, so it's ground and pound. Big Ten is kind of like a black and blue football division. Conference besides like your Ohio States. Now Oregon's, but it was really like your Ohio State's who was like really slinging the ball around. But I like the fact that you touched on Javon Tracy from Miami of Ohio. Really good receiver, could stretch the defense. And Logan Lawyer trying to revamp that passing game. I like Zach Pyron. He can use his legs. He did a pretty solid job stepping in for Haynes King when Haynes King got hurt last season. And that's why I think he's going to win the starting job at Minnesota. I think they're going to roll out Zach Pyron to start the year. And he's also a dual threat guy, so he can run some option possibly with Darius Taylor. I know Minnesota lost their defensive coordinator yet again, but I mean, it's the third year in a row they were one and done in D coordinator, so I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be fine there. Like you said, their questions is always offensively. And it's really, can they pass the ball? Max Brosmer, can he really pass the ball? Ethan Kelly-Akmanis, can he really pass the ball? Now it's on to Zach Pyron. Can they get a passing game going at Minnesota? That has always been the Achilles heel of Minnesota. I think Pyron is going to do a decent job. I don't think he's going to fully answer that question, but I think he's going to do a decent job there at Minnesota. But I still think he's not going to be what Minnesota fans are looking for in a quarterback at Minnesota. Last season, they were 107th in total offense, 5th in total defense, 76th in passing, 109th in rushing, 80th in scoring offense, tied 10th passing defense, 12th rushing defense, and 9th scoring defense. Again, really elite defensively. And they bring in another linebacker, Jeff Robertson from Oklahoma State. If you're ready, though, we can talk about the schedule, and then you might have to feel some dinner.
Yeah, let's get into it.
All right, schedule. So, first game against Buffalo, I have as a win.
I also have as a win.
Northwestern State, I have as a win.
I also have as a win.
At Cal, I have as a win.
I also have as a win.
First Big Ten game at home against Rutgers, I have as a win.
I also have as a win.
At Ohio State, I have as a loss.
I also have as a loss.
At home against Purdue, I have as a win.
I also have as a win.
Nebraska, I have as a loss.
I have as a win.
Tell you, I'm high on Nebraska. Where you're going to think I'm crazy. They're next too. At Iowa, I have as a loss.
I also have as a loss.
At home against Michigan State, I have as a win.
I also have as a win.
On the road against Oregon, I have as a loss.
I also have as a loss.
And then I have them winning the last two games at Northwestern and at home against Wisconsin.
I'm going to have them beating Northwestern and losing to Wisconsin.
I feel like my Nebraska is your Wisconsin, and I'm probably going to look at you the same way you're going to look at me in Nebraska. But I have Minnesota going 8-4, 5-4, taking the over 6.5 wins.
Yeah, it looks like we disagree on the Wisconsin game and what other game do we disagree? I think we disagreed on Nebraska, yeah. So
I have them losing.
Yep.
So I think we got the same record, just 2 games flipped.
Yep. So the over in wins, and then it would be the two big conference losses to Michigan or Oregon and Ohio State.
All right, CTC fans, I have to take a quick commercial break. So we're going to run the